If you're an up and coming real estate investor and you're tired of those guys on HGTV that's showing you just the cookie cutter ways on how to flip, and you want to see actual real ways on how to pivot through the ups and downs of the project, then you're going to watch this video before you start your own journey and buy your first flip. Anytime I see a flip project and I look at the before and after, I'm like, oh, that's easy. I could have done that. Um, right? I don't know for y'all, but I know for me, that's the type of thoughts that go through my head. And it's so easy to say that when you don't see the whole journey, right? So it's important to see the journey because throughout the whole process, there's a lot of little steps and a lot of little things that you gotta know how to pivot, adjustments that need to be made along the way to make sure the project stays on time and more importantly on budget. Now, in my case, there were a few hiccups, but I'll show you that in a moment. But you just always got to stay on edge because you never know what you're gonna come across. They always say like once you break down, you know, those walls, you never really know what's behind them. And when you're dealing with 100-year-old houses like the ones we have in Baltimore, more often than not, you're gonna come across some things that just quite frankly we don't even use no more, or you gotta completely replace, like just knob and tube, electrical wiring, galvanized pipe. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just pull up the video that I took with my contractor that's gonna walk us directly through the project, and I'm gonna just highlight some things that he brought to my attention so that way I can show you guys. And more importantly, you could just take note of if you're about to embark on your first flip or your next one. All right, so let me pull up this video right quick. Let me see. Right here, we're in the bathroom, and he's just showing me what was found behind the drywall, which was tile, of course, on the floor. We're trying to figure out what we're gonna do as far as LVP or tiles. I'm gonna put LVP on the flooring, and then I'm gonna do like a tile for the tubs around. Now, if you look, there's old galvanized pipe, like that sewer line right there for the toilet is super old, but luckily we're still gonna be able to salvage it and still be able to, just make the best of it. As far as the other areas of the house, he just showed me a walkthrough to see what he was working on. Because again, this is the first week, right? This is the first week in where we're in the demo stages, where we demoed everything. Still got grandma's bed in there. Got to take that out. But yeah, we demoed everything for the most part. Now, not gonna do much in here. Just drywall, flooring, and paint. That's pretty much it. In the bedrooms upstairs, nothing crazy. So it's pretty much standard in all of the bedrooms. Only thing is obviously got to redo that full bathroom. He's showing me how he's going to be able to access from the living room to install that plumbing. So that's cool. So here in the living room, broke down that wall, dividing the living room and a dining room, which was cool. We were gonna put the that wall down, but I told him, nah, let's keep it so that way we could put the fridge there. So we're also trying to figure out whether we should pull down the ceiling tiles to figure out which way the joist is going. Now, you got to figure out which way the joist is going is important because when it comes to running HVAC and any type of electrical lines, you got to go with the flow and try to put it within your joists, which is supporting the floors on top of you. So each house is different. You just have to pull down maybe a little bit of the ceiling to really understand which way it's going, right? So luckily it's going in a way that's going to be favorable to us. Now this is the kitchen, again, fully demoed. that's going to be pretty much cookie cutter. Not too much going on there. Now we get to the basement. This basement ceiling is kind of low, so we're trying to figure out how do we maximize this space, right? We got to maximize this space. I told them, look, let's just continue to demo everything. Let's take all of this insulation out. Well, let's try to figure out what's behind this panel. I'm assuming it's probably like another HVAC ductwork situation. Let's see what's going on with this because, we're probably going to have to reroute it most likely so that way the ceiling could be flush. I'm actually thinking about leaving the ceiling exposed so that way, again, the ceiling heights are super low. It might be like 6'2". So just trying to give as much space as possible for it to be open, but also have a clean finished look. Again, we're talking about this ductwork on this side because I want to take that out as well because that looks, it just doesn't look good. And at the same time, just from a functional standpoint, we want to make sure that we're able to maximize that. You know what I mean? So, basement. One thing that caught my eye, which I didn't see during the walkthrough because I could have used this for a negotiation tactic, is he's showing me all the galvanized piping, right? Like it's just old corroded piping. So that means we gotta redo all of the water lines throughout the whole entire house. It's just not good. It's not good at all. So some of these things you got to keep in mind when you're looking, doing a walkthrough in the house. That's something that I completely missed, which is my fault. But obviously, I'm gonna have to pay the money to fix that and get that done. So we got to replumb the entire house. So the plumbing lines is probably behind this panel. We got to take that down and install new plumbing, new PVC throughout. So that way, hopefully, it can last for another 100 years. So we got to install new lines from the water tank all the way going up that closet to the main water line to the bathroom upstairs. So that's going to be a lot of piping. Now back here, currently it's the laundry room. Thinking whether I should turn that to the bathroom or keep that as an existing bathroom and just expand it to a full bath. It's still up in the air. It's still up in the air. This one is kind of tight. They got like a plumbing situation that's being drained to. I don't even know what that is. To be honest with you, it looked like it's a drain line that's a dedicated line, but it's coming from the kitchen. It's coming from the kitchen, so it's being drained. So yeah, if I do put the bathroom in there, then I would have to like do some sort of rigmarole where I'll probably have to frame it out or like, because ideally the shower would be right there. But if that drain line is right there, it's going to be hard to make a shower unless we put a bulkhead there. And putting a shower, putting a bulkhead in tile is just not good for the final finishing touches. So most likely I'm leaning towards putting the full bathroom in this space. It's way, way more space to operate with. We could put a stand-up shower. We could put a full tub, to be honest with you. But I told him let's do a stand-up shower. Just a vanity and, toilet. Just a full bathroom. So that way they have 2 full bathrooms in this house. And yeah, man, we still got a lot of demo. Like all this wood paneling that you see is going to be out of here. It's just going to be brand new drywall in the next 6 weeks, y'all. Look, 6 weeks is my timeline and I'm sticking to it. So I just got to put some pressure on my contractor to get it done. You know what I mean? This flooring got to go too as well. or we might just keep it and put the LVP right on top. It just depends. We got to see what the subfloor looks like. We don't know for sure. So we're still looking at our options to see what's the best route to install it, the most feasible way to get it done. Yeah, I'm telling them take this wood paneling out. The wood paneling got to go. Yeah, all of that got to go, man. We just going to drywall it out, make it look nice and clean on the finishing side. So that way, when our client, whoever our potential buyer is, come down, it's going to be straight drywall. It's going to be nice, fresh, new flooring, new paint, new finishes. Going to put some recessed lights down there as well. This kitchen is a pretty standard kitchen. Now, this is probably the biggest hiccup I didn't realize, because looking at, this house on the walkthrough, it already has HVAC, right? So I'm like, okay, we good. I don't got to worry about that. Adding the 20,000 HVAC system and ductwork and all of that. But look, I was going to open up the kitchen. Of course, when we knock down the wall, there's a surprise, right? Of course, there's ductwork in there. I don't know why they ran the ductwork through the kitchen wall. So we got to figure that out. We got to figure something out.